What's up, YouTube? It's iVerdixx here, bringing you guys another video today. And today, this gameplay is just two different free-for-alls because they're both pretty short. I win them pretty quick. So I just decided to throw two of them together to make one longer commentary instead of just having like a 5-6 minute video. So today I want to talk to you guys about the competitive side of Advanced Warfare. My first video on this game, I talked about my first impressions, and it was kind of not actually first impressions because, as I said in that video, it had already been like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks that the game had been out before I released it. And I go over why it took me so long to actually come out with that video and for me to actually upload my first video in that commentary. So if you guys want to know, be sure to just go check that out. It'll obviously be on my channel, so if you want to watch that video, feel free. And in this gameplay, I want to talk about the competitive side, as I said before, and what I think about it and the current way it stands with all the game modes, maps, and the rule set. So let's start with the game modes. You got your, well, first of all, let's just all be thankful that they brought back CTF and Hardpoint. I was actually so upset that they took out CTF in Ghosts, and I said that throughout like the entire game. CTF was by far my favorite game type in previous Call of Duty, so Black Ops 2 and MW3. Previous Call of Duties I played competitively at least. So in Black Ops 2, MW3, I just love CTF. It was my favorite game type. MW3 didn't really have much choice. It was either CTF, S&D. But Black Ops 2, you had a Hardpoint in there, which was a lot of people's favorite game mode. But mine personally was CTF. I just thought it was, well, I don't want to say it took more teamwork, but personally, I just enjoyed CTF more than Hardpoint. I still loved Hardpoint, and I was disappointed that they took that out of Call of Duty Ghosts as well. But I'm more excited about the return of CTF than Hardpoint. Although CTF plays a lot differently in this game, and it's not exactly the same as it was in the previous CODs that had it, but it's still tons of fun in my opinion. Hardpoint is still tons of fun. I personally, it's a little bit harder, well, not harder to play, but it's a little bit different to play in this game, especially for me, because in Black Ops 2 when I played Hardpoint, for most of the game I was an anchor, and in this game you don't need an anchor role exactly, because it's the entire team's, basically in this game the entire team has to work together as an anchor. So you all have to push out certain spots together to get the spawns for a Hardpoint, and the spawns can flip so easily in this game, at least from what I've seen so far. They might change it later down the road, but so far the spawns are very easy to flip. So even if you rotate like 15-20 seconds early, get spawns, if you guys don't get the kills off the rotations from the other team, so if you don't kill the other team while they're rotating to get spawns, even though you already have them, you're gonna spawn all the way out, and it's gonna be difficult for you to recover from that. So in this game, it's more about getting the kills on rotations versus actually just having one guy sitting in the back and at the spawn that you want, anchoring that specific spawn so that your team can just repeatedly spawn over and over again and run into the hill and die as many times as they want. You can't really do that in this game because, first of all, there's a respawn delay. So even if you're holding anchor, when you die, you're anchored, quote unquote, even though that's not really how they play it in this game. How people play it in this game, they don't just have the guy sitting back there. But even if you die, your anchor might die in the 2.5 seconds it takes you to spawn up. So you can't exactly just have your OBJ guys just run into the hill repeatedly and get tons of deaths and also tons of kills, tons of defense, captures, and stuff like that. You have to play as a team a little bit more in this game for Hardpoint, at least in my opinion. Some people may disagree, and that's fine, but I personally think that it's obviously a little bit different with the respawn delay and everything, but I personally think it's just as fun, if not more fun. So that's not really a big deal. Black Ops 2 Hardpoint was tons of fun, but I think I enjoy Advanced Warfare's just as much, in my opinion. There's the other game modes are, well, we got Search and Destroy again. That was in Ghosts. They tried to take it out of Ghosts at the beginning, but they quickly realized that was a mistake, brought it back. And S&D is just, it's not the same, but obviously, I mean, you get one life, plant the bomb, stuff like that. So it's a little different with all the movement, but that's the main thing that makes it different. It's not that it actually plays different differently than it does in any other Call of Duty. It's just the fact that you can jump around. It makes watching certain spots a lot more difficult with all the exo movements, because you can just boost jump around corners and stuff. So if you're stationary watching a corner in another Call of Duty, someone's gonna come around the corner and you're gonna be pre-aiming them, and you're most likely gonna have the advantage. In this Call of Duty, someone can just boost jump around the corner, and it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult for you to get that kill, because they just went gliding past you so much more quickly than they could in previous Call of Duties. So that's pretty much the only difference with S&D is just the movement and the speed at which you can maneuver the map. Just makes it a little bit more difficult to hold down certain spots, watch certain choke points and stuff like that. And the last game mode as of right now is Uplink. At the beginning of the game, they were testing out those 4 game modes plus Momentum, but quickly decided Momentum was not going to be viable for competitive, as the main thing that sticks out to me is why it can't be viable for competitive is the fact that you spawn on one side and there's no rounds of momentum, so you just spawn on that one side and then that's your side the entire game, and you have to push out the other team's flags in order to win. And in order for you to play that the most fair way, you would have to play 2 different games of momentum, and I don't see how they would set up the rules in order to do that. Like, you'd have to play 2 different games of momentum, and I guess it would be like stopwatch, whichever team. If one team wins both games, they obviously win the match, or the map, because it would only count as one map. If one team wins one side and then you switch sides, the other team wins that side as well, it would just depend on whoever got it faster, I guess. But yeah, momentum was not going to work for competitive. I thought it was pretty fun while I was playing it, but I understand why it just wouldn't be viable to play competitively. And there's Uplink, which is... I haven't really played it that much competitively. I've played it in the ranked play thing that they brought into this game, but actual team scrims, I haven't played a single Uplink game. So I played CTF, I played S&D, I played Hardpoint, but I have yet to play an Uplink game in competitive, whether that be 8s, team scrims, or like a GB match. I'm thinking if I did play it in a GB match once. I don't think I did. So I'm pretty sure I haven't played Uplink competitively yet in this game, other than ranked play, of course. But it just, I guess it could be pretty cool. The main problem with it right now is there's a pass feature with the ball. So if you look at your teammates and press LT while you have the ball in your hand, it'll pass to them just across the map. It'll go straight to them. Even if your teammate moves, the ball will just keep following them throughout the map. Now, obviously, you can't just move and it'll just keep snaking with whatever your movements are. But like if it hits a wall, the pass is done. So if it hits a wall, if your teammate goes behind a wall after you pass it, the pass isn't going to work, but the ball will keep going until it hits that wall, of course. But if your teammate stays in the line of sight of the ball the entire time, doesn't go behind a wall, doesn't go behind anything that could deflect it, the ball is going to go straight to your teammate. So what people figured out is basically you have one person that just sits in the spawn. Their job isn't to get kills. Their job isn't really to slay at all. Their job is basically to just be unseen and unknown of in the other person's base, and then the rest of your team plays the ball. The rest of your team doesn't really have to play the portal at all, because once your team gets control of the ball, slays out a few people, the guy that's hiding in that base just pops up, gives their teammate a target to pass to, and once they throw the pass, the guy getting the pass, receiving the pass, doesn't even have to wait for the ball to be in his hands. So you can literally, your teammate says, oh, I passed it, go. The guy receiving the pass just runs at the portal, jumps in the portal as he's getting the ball, bang, 2 points. Only thing you have to be careful of is if you're in the portal before you get the ball and the ball comes to you still, it'll count as a throw in, which is ridiculous in my opinion. So it allows you to throw the ball from across the map even into the portal. But if you are in the portal before you get the ball and the ball hits the portal before it's in your hands, it'll count as 1 point rather than 2. But I mean, that's still a pretty cheap way to score, is just throwing the ball all the way across the map. It's pretty ridiculous, but that's all I really have to say about that. As of right now, Uplink is going to be a game mode for MLG Columbus, and that's all we know. So for right now, we're going to have to keep playing with it and grind it out. but hopefully that does get changed in the future, or at least if they don't take out the game mode. I'm sorry you can hear those people. If they don't take out the game mode, I hope they at least nerf the passing feature. It might actually be a good game mode if they do that. We don't know, but I think it would be much better if they did. And if they don't take it out, at least they can nerf that. I'm so sorry you guys hear that baby crying. I really didn't realize that my Elgato was recording that. So that's my bad. But that's pretty much all I have to say for today, guys. I wanted to go over with you guys what the competitive was like in this game. As I said, most of the game modes just the same as the normal Call of Duty. It's just added in uplink there, which I think can be a good game mode if a few things are tweaked and changed. But I personally think this is going to be a good year. I think competitive is going to be really fun. So far, it's been fun playing the hardpoints, S&Ds, CTFs. It's been pretty enjoyable, although I might not be the best at S&D. People that play with me probably know that. But hardpoint, CTF, I'm pretty good at, and S&D I'll get used to as time goes by. And yeah, I think it'll be a good year. I think this will be a pretty good game. I think people are going to enjoy it and not complain as much as they did about Ghosts. But that's pretty much all the time we have for today, guys. If you did like the video, be sure to drop a like, and if you'd like to see more from me in the future, be sure to subscribe.